This is pretty fun, actually. Gotta save the turtle trying to cross the road. There you go, buddy. Hey friends, welcome back. I am Jason and I'm testing out this electric bike here. This thing is a game changer. Like, I'm not getting paid for this. I was given this for a trial run just to see how it goes, and I just rode it 11 miles and I don't think I even opened my mouth to breathe out of my mouth because I was struggling. I didn't break a sweat, and I live in the mountains. it's like effortless getting here. Rode all the way to the lake. Not even the most direct route. I rode the scenic route to get to the lake. And man, I tell you what, it was not only was it easy, it was pretty dang enjoyable. I got up to 34 miles per hour at one point with almost zero effort, just barely pedaling, cruising along. Pretty cool. But anyway, came to the lake because I wanted to do a little bit of survival fishing. So basically, anytime you're near a body of water, you're gonna come across trash. All kinds of garbage is gonna be around any kind of body of water. Even remote places they're gonna have trash in it. And I can generally find all the equipment, all the fishing tackle that I need to get the job done anywhere you look. Any of these overhanging trees that are in the lake, like this one behind me here, a lot of these are going to have hung up fishing tackle, lures, line, all the stuff. So if I just look around for a few minutes, I guarantee I'll find something. Make sure you're hitting the thumbs up, subscribing if you haven't done so already. These trees right here growing next to the water, these are birch trees, and the bark on them makes amazing fire starters right here. They're great, tender. This stuff, the wood will rot away like that. You can see how nasty and rotten that is, but the bark lasts because it's preserved with oils in the bark itself, and that is what makes it so dang flammable. So if you ever find birch bark like this and you need a fire going, it doesn't really get much better. Got some fishing line here. Might be a hook out there in the middle somewhere. Got a tangled mess is what we've got. You might come to a knot like this. It's just maybe not just gonna get untied. You'll never get that out. So just what you can do is just cut it off and then tie two ends of the line together. And what do you know? We've got a hook. Looks like it's a pretty big hook. And it's quite dull. But maybe we can touch that up on a rock or something. We'll see. That's a big hook. Gonna need a bigger fish to bite that. But you never know. Might come up with something else. What I'll do is I'll just attach this piece of cordage, this piece of fishing line to this piece of fishing line. And the way that I do that is like this. I'll cross over the two ends, make an X like that. And then I'll wrap this line around this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll take that end and I'll go between the two lines like that. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'll go around this line in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll take this end and I'll stick it through that little hole there. And I'll hold both ends opposite to one another. Wet it with a little spit. And then I'll start tightening it up, pulling it like that. Some old fishing line here. See how strong it is. And that's a pretty strong connection right there. There we go. Now I've got a nice clean connection. Take our hook, stick it in, little worm hole there, termite hole. Stick that in there, and that'll keep it nice and tidy for us. Let's go see what else we can find. Anybody could come to the lake with regular fishing tackle and fishing rods and reels and all that stuff and go fishing, but this makes life more interesting. Turning over rocks looking for worms, and I found a worm. A snaky worm. We got a slightly smaller and much sharper hook. Oh wait. Something I've learned about trying to catch small fish, especially on bigger hooks, is that the small fish will steal your bait really, really fast. So if you kind of thread the worm onto the shaft of the hook there, onto the shank, it will make it much more difficult. They'll be able to grab the little bits that are hanging off like right there and stuff, but it's much harder for them to steal all of this right here. They're robbing me blind, but you can see there's still some bait left on the shank of the hook that it's harder for them to pull off. Look at this whopper I came up with. If we don't catch any fish, maybe we'll just eat that. Holy cow. Had one right there, and it came off the hook right as I was about to pull it out of the water. Should have been quicker about it, I suppose. Score! Yes! Our little friend came out of his hole, I think. Nice! We got a little bass. Largemouth bass right there. Look at that. Sweet. With a big hook like that, you pretty much need a fish with a big mouth like this one to be able to swallow. You can snag some smaller ones like the brim and bluegills and stuff like that, but you need a fish that's got a big mouth that's just going to inhale the bait. A lot of people think that you need a knife and some other kind of tool to clean your fish For larger fish, that's a fact, but for a small fish like this, you don't need anything at all. Fish cleaned and ready for the barbecue. And this birch bark that I got off that tree was all wet from last night's rain. It doesn't matter, it still burns so easily. Pine is about the best thing there is to get your fire started, but you don't want to cook on it. It's going to make your food taste nasty. It's going to make it taste like turpentine. So maple is a better choice. And this fire is not going to be used for anything other than cooking my fish, so I'm just going to build it up pretty good size and then let it burn down to hot coals, and that's pretty much all I need it for. Now I could take my knife and I could scale this fish if I wanted to, get all the scales off it, or I could just leave it as is, throw it on the hot coals. It's probably the oldest way of cooking any kind of meat, is just cooking it on hot coals. Very little preparation involved. Now that our fire is mostly burnt down, I'm just going to kind of push some of this bigger stuff that's still on fire to the side, like that. Get that out of my way. Push over some hot coals, like that. And plop. You just let it cook. That's all there is to it. Now I'll generally cook it on one side for about a minute or so, and then I'll flip it over. I'll check and see if it's done, and then I'll maybe give it a flip or two more just to make sure it's thoroughly cooked, and then go to town. These are leaves off of a sourwood tree. Not only are they edible and taste like sour apples, they make a good plate. Nice clean surface to put your food on. Ooh, head fell off. Needs salt, but not too bad. It doesn't get dirty. A lot of people think if you cook on the coals like that, on the ashes, it's gonna get the meat all dirty. You could throw a steak right on hot coals like that, and the coals and ashes just kind of fall right off. It's gonna be a sourwood bass roll up. Hot, very hot. Let's try this recipe out. There. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Oh, leave me a comment, any comment, doesn't matter.